All right, Shalom, all praises to Yahweh by Shem Shai, double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who will teach all the part of his creed. I wanted to go into John, the 17th chapter. This is a beautiful chapter. And this is a great chapter that we can go through the scriptures and see that, that what the Christian church has been telling us is a lie when it comes to their thesis that everybody can be saved because, uh, people when they hear GMS speak, people don't think that we were once in the church. Like we know what the Christian church says. Why? Because we were in the congregation of the dead. That's I believe that's Proverbs 16 or 21. The man that wanders out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. So we know, about your trunk or treats. We know about your Trinity false doctrine. We know about your hell doctrine. Why? Because, you know, at one point we were under that cover of darkness. But John 17 shows us that not this isn't a numbers game as the way that the Christian church would have you to believe, but it is a numbers game. Okay, what do I mean by that? Because that you know that that kind of sounds contradictory. Okay, it's not a numbers game when it comes to what the Christian church tells you, because the Christian church tells you that they need to set up 35 churches and 15 city blocks because they want everybody to be saved. That's not what that's not what the scriptures show us. Okay. Matter of fact, we can go. Let's go to no, but matter of fact, we don't even have to jump around. Yeah, we'll just stay in John 17. Okay, now I also said that it is a numbers game. Okay, what's the contradiction? Well, it's not right now on this side. On this side of the kingdom. Okay, because the kingdom of heaven, is not yet on earth. Um, on this side, it is a numbers game when it comes to the 144,000. Right now, um, this word that is going out is only going to be received by the innumerable multitude. Okay, including the 144,000. All right, that's all that we are waiting for. Matter of fact, let's get that right quick. In Revelation 7, verse 1, it says, "And after these things I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice of the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea." Here's the point, verse 3, saying, "Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads." See, uh, when we talk about the day of Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, that's a dark day, as mentioned in Amos 5, verse 18. But the point here is that the day of Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, won't come until the sealing of a certain amount of men. Okay? Verse 4. "And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel." Okay? So this is a direct cut to the Christian doctrine, okay? Because again, they tell you that everybody can be saved, but the scriptures only talk about a select few, right? Matter of fact, we can even pull up Zechariah 13, 8 and 9. It says, "And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahweh Shem Yahushai, two parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein." So you have two-thirds about to be destroyed. Okay, uh, uh, so how does that Christian doctrine fit in here about everybody can be saved when the scriptures are clearly telling you no? There's 66% of people that are to be destroyed. See, this is why Christianity is a false doctrine, man, because all they're doing, they're just spinning their wheels, man. It's just a huge money grab. You know, the, that's why they all, shake hands with the government, um, and go into that 501c3 agreement when the scriptures clearly tell you, to be separate, be ye separate, right? The scriptures say that the love of this world is enmity with the Most High, but yet the Christian church is, going into an agreement with the government. All right, but the point here is that right here we can see in the scriptures that not everybody is going to get it. 2/3 are going to die. Okay, what's the Christian understanding for this verse? By the way, how come in the Christian church? How come you never hear about these things? How come in the Christian church they never go into the book of Obadiah? You know, how come they never tell you who Esau is? All right, how come they don't tell you about the Apocrypha? The Grecian Empire. That's part of prophecy. That's Daniel 2 and Daniel 7. All right. The Bible has the Assyrian Babylonian captivity. It's got oh geez, oh geez, sorry. Something's up with my truck. But it's got the Medo-Persian Empire. All right, and then after the Medo-Persian, it mentions the Grecian Empire, and then it goes into the Roman Empire. But you don't hear about the Grecian Empire in the scripture. So, was Daniel wrong? Absolutely not. The Grecian captivity did happen, but it was taken out, man. So let's go back into here. This is Zechariah 13:9. It says, "And I will bring the third part through the fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined, and I will try them as gold is tried." And that's another cut for the Christian doctrine, okay? Because Christians believe in the rapture. See, Christianity would have you think that Yahweh, the only begotten Son, right? That only he was the person to be punished. You know, And the Christian Church would have you to believe that everything's all just rainbows and gummy drops, man. And that's not what the scriptures are telling here. The scriptures, as we just read it, I mean, let's go ahead and get that again. It says, "And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined." So this is a tough chastisement, okay? And again, the Christian church doesn't go into this. It says, "And will refine them as silver is refined, and I will try them as gold is tried." And how do you try gold? You try gold by putting it in, a hot oven, all right? And you get all those impurities out, man. And that's what Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai has done to his people. He's doing to us now, you know. Uh, uh, the Christian church doesn't talk to you about chastisement, and the scriptures clearly tell you whom the Most High loves, he chastens. All right, which one of you having a son won't chastise him, right? We are, so-called blacks, natives, and Hispanics, we are the sons of the Most High, man, because he's only dealing with us. Amos 3:2 goes into that. Only you have I known out of all the families of the earth. Okay, because only we're his children. All right, and the relationship that a child has with his the relationship that a father has with his children is different than the relationship that father has with just random kids, man. The Most High is not dealing with these people. All right, these other nations, man. Contrary to what the Christian church will tell you, these other nations, they're just supporting actors, man. So-called black natives and Hispanics, we are the main character, man. All right, all these other heathens. What is that? Second Ezra 6 says, as for the other nations, that counted them as spittle. The Most High is not dealing with these other nations, man. This is only for so first and foremost, this is only for the so-called blacks, natives, and Hispanic. And then even amongst that group, it's only for one third and the 144,000, man. It says, they shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahweh Hashem Yahshai is my God. See, and there again, there's another cut to the Christian doctrine. All right, because Christianity doesn't tell you the name. All right, how can you call upon the Most High if you don't know His name? You know, because we know it's not Jesus, we know it's not Yeshua, we know it's not Yahweh. All right, they don't they don't give you the tools that you need for the day that's coming, man. So let's go back. Let's go to John 17. That's what I wanted to get into. Uh, John 17. Salakia, by the way, this is an in transit video. A lot of my videos have been in transit just because my work schedule has changed. Um, so this is John 17, verse 1. It says, these words spake Yahushai and lifted up his eyes to heaven and said, Father, the hour is come. Glorify thy Son, that thy Son also may glorify thee. Okay, so yeah, another cut to the Christian doctrine, because Christianity, tells you about the Trinity doctrine, right? It tells Christianity, has lied to the world and told them that the Most High and the Son and the Spirit are all one people. Okay, so and then they go ahead and tell you that they're all equal, but yet the Father's name is literally the Most High. So how can the three be one in the same? How can the three be equal and then you have one called the Most High? I mean, can you imagine that? Can you imagine going into business with somebody and saying, "Hey, me and you are equal partners, but my title is going to be CEO, Chief Executive Officer, and you're just going to be employee. But don't worry, we're all equal." Nobody would do that. I'm gonna have this corner off.